What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow. It is Monday, and what a Monday it is. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about. And yeah, I just had such a crazy weekend. Today has been such a crazy day. A lot of excitement, a lot of stress. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably not going to get all crazy because I am, I've got a little bit of a headache. But I have to come live. I have to talk about what's going on. Welcome everybody in chat, and let's get busy, shall we? First thing I want to show everybody is Crow Trader. It's been doing pretty well. I honestly, it's been very smooth since I turned on the bot. You know, I did a fresh install of it with the latest update. That it was after Binance US launched, and it has not given me any errors, bugs, nothing since then, knock on wood. So it's been pretty smooth sailing in terms of like the bot functioning, and I'm up to 30 profitable trades in the last week, and currently in a trade on Cardano. DCA is active. I've had 15 successful trades with Cardano so far. Still waiting to get out of this one Tezos trade. 12 successful trades on Uni, and 3 trades with BNB. So obviously Cardano's just been kicking tail. And yeah, I mean, it's been pretty good stuff. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I constantly look at it. I refresh, and every once in a while I'll go in and I'll do a manual DCA buy, which like I would love to do with this, but the price is only here. So these are some of my DCA entries of past. My original buy-in was higher, and so, you know, DCAing right here isn't going to do that much for me. So I've just got to wait it out, and you know, we'll see. I'm sure at some point we'll get there, and it, you know, it's just the way the bots go. So Tezos just needs to start really climbing against Bitcoin. And yeah, some news first. I'm gonna show you some really cool stuff in this video. You are gonna want to stick around, and we'll see how many live chat viewers we get. A lot of good stuff. Copy that like. Yeah, hit that like button if you don't mind. ADA reached all-time high and beyond. Mary starts today. Well, hell, Tony, I don't even need to do anything now. I'm just going to go ahead and go back to what I was doing. I'm just kidding. Cardano holding crucial support. Why it could surge again. This came out 10 hours ago. Just a little bit of technical love for those of you guys that love that stuff. Cardano's price traded to a new multi-month high at $1.48 before correcting lower. ADA declined sharply below $1.20, but the bulls were active above $1.18. Yeah. ADA surged above $1.20 and $1.40 resistance levels against the US dollar. The price is still trading well above $1.20 in the 100 simple moving average of 4 hours. There is key bullish trend line forming with support near $1.17 on the 4-hour chart of the ADA USD pair, and the pair could dip again towards $1.17 before it starts a fresh increase in the near term. So some chart graphics there for everybody that's interested in doing technicals on Cardano. I personally do not believe that technical analysis as it relates to Cardano is going to be very accurate or effective, but that's just me. I know there are a lot of speculators in the space, and the speculative traders, the TA traders, they definitely have a tendency to be able to move the market in short-term directions, but I think the long-term sentiment of Cardano is going to outweigh a lot of the speculative TA traders. I mean, that's just my opinion. And I did this little meme thing on Twitter where I basically said, you know, technical analysis trader Cardano. I said so and so, but I was actually referring to Cardano because I've been seeing it myself. Basically, some of these TA traders are, you know, they'll say, oh well, we're going to go down. You know, it could be $1.50, and they're going to be like, Cardano's going to go to 75 cents, and scare a bunch of people that follow this person, and you know, they might be selling, you know, they might have a limit sell order in, and they're using the market and their technical analysis to freak people out, causing them to sell. And then as the price goes down, they just buy back in and improve their position. And they use their power on YouTube and other platforms that way. So make sure that when you're watching technical analysis traders talking about your favorite asset, watch 10 of them. if you're going to put the time into watching a technical analysis guru anywhere, watch all of them. Find out what they're all saying. I would never trade on I would never trade on me. I do technical analysis on another platform. I just don't really show it on YouTube because I don't want anybody. What I do in technical analysis, I do for fun and learning. I don't do it to try and act like I'm a TA guru on YouTube so you guys all run out and do what I'm telling you. That's just not what I want. And I feel like to a certain degree it's irresponsible, because for those of you guys that are, you know, whether you're new to this channel or new to crypto, new to trading, I mean, technical analysis ultimately is a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts. If you've got a large number of people trading on particular indicators or signals, they're all looking for the same thing. You know, like a lot of people, oh, you know, on a 4-hour chart, you're looking at it, you want to see this bounce off of 100 moving average, yada, yada. And if it starts to hit there, people expect it to bounce, the enter position, and then sure enough, it bounces, right? But when you're talking about something like Cardano, where the fundamentals and the milestones in its development and launch patterns and things, as those things come to fruition, it can throw technical analysis right out the window. When you're talking about something like Bitcoin, I think technical analysis is far more accurate, though still flawed, but it's more accurate because it's been around a lot longer. The fundamentals have already been established. It is what it is, as I always say. And so, you know, TA definitely matters because Bitcoin is much more of a speculative trading store of value. I mean, that's ultimately its primary use case. So just keep that in mind as you move forward and trade safely. I, of course, am one to crow my coins. I would rather accumulate rather than try and trade constantly. IOG unveils groundbreaking babel fees mechanism for Cardano. This is pretty interesting. One of the birds announced by Charles Hoskinson has landed. While not a major partnership with a company or a government contract in Africa, Hoskinson says it is one of the biggest advances in the entire industry. IOG announced the babel fees mechanism, enabling the payment of transaction fees in native tokens on the Cardano blockchain. This could get really fun and really interesting. The technical basis is that Cardano native tokens, which are launching today, this article is from a few days ago, but I'm sharing it today for a reason, with the upcoming Mary upgrade, which is today, will be treated in the same way as ADA, as profess. Agelos Kayayas, chief scientific officer at IOG, explained in a blog post, the extended UTXO model may carry not just ADA, but in fact a token bundle that can contain multiple different tokens, both fungible and non-fungible. In this way, it is possible to write transactions that transfer multiple different tokens with a single UTXO. Transaction fees in the ledger are denominated in ADA according to a function fixed as a ledger parameter. For those of you guys that watched the recent Cardano 365, I actually watched it. I mean, it was kind of long, but man, there's so much good meat in there. And it's from a technical perspective, it's exciting and fascinating. From like an entertainment perspective, it's not all that entertaining because it's a lot of technical gobbledygook. But you really learn about some of the fine tunings of the Cardano system and what has been developed and how it's been progressing and what the plans are moving forward. It's just fascinating stuff, man. I mean, it really is. I know that the majority of people out there aren't going to pay any attention. They're just like, oh, when's the price going up? But man, from a technical perspective, this is truly just... I'm just dumbfounded. I'm truly dumbfounded. The applications that are going to stem from Cardano's blockchain are absolutely endless. I mean, truly endless. A powerful feature of Cardano's eUTXO model is that the fees required for a valid transaction can be predicted precisely prior to posting it. This is a unique feature that is not enjoyed by other ledger arrangements, such as the account-based model used in Ethereum. However, the mechanism is tied to the presence of liquidity providers, which creates a market for exciting new business models, Kayayas said. For example, a stake pool operator can publish exchange fees can publish exchange rates for certain tokens that it deems acceptable. Being a stake pool operator is probably about to get a whole lot more interesting. An SPO may accept a token X for an exchange rate of 3-to-1 via ADA. In Cardano's native asset model, this can be implemented as a single UTXO, according to Calles. The exchange rate here can be defined completely freely by the SPOs and can also be different between different SPOs, as there is no need for an arrangement between SPOs on the value of a particular token. But not only SPOs could cover the liabilities, it is also conceivable that SPOs could partner with a third-party liquidity provider to issue matching transactions. In addition, third-party providers can also act on the network independently and issue matching transactions. On the timing of when the babel fees mechanism will be implemented on Cardano and the opportunities it presents, Calles explained, the mechanism of negative quantities in token bundles can be implemented in the basic ledger rules of Cardano at some point following the introduction of native assets with the merry hard fork. That is today. There's so much. There's so much. Merry upgrade set to go live. Here's why it matters. 1,248 of you guys live today. Thank you so much for joining me. I got a little late start because I had some stuff going on today. Typically, I try to go live around 1 o'clock, if at all possible now. So, Mary, named after the Frankenstein author Mary Shelley. Cardano's newest upgrade goes live at 21:45:51 UTC today. It means that, for the first time, users will be able to create their own unique tokens, including NFTs, which I cannot wait. Guys, when I show you what I have in the works as my first Cardano project, I'm telling you, you're all gonna love it. You're gonna love it, because I don't think anybody's ever done anything like it ever on any blockchain. And I think it's going to be unique. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be something that's going to drive the community in a lot of ways, because you're all going to have to work together to some degree. And I just think it's going to be a lot of fun, and people are going to make money from it. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be fun and worthwhile across the board. NFTs on Cardano. I plan on getting big into NFTs on Cardano, just so y'all know. I am going to start a collection. If for any other reason than as my first big axe on the Cardano blockchain, outside of just accumulating it, I'm going to start an NFT collection. I don't know. But like really good high quality stuff. It's either going to have to be something really funny and unique, something extremely creative, or high end. Like I love Beeple. Beeple's artwork is amazing. I just can't find any of it. You can't buy any of it anywhere that I've found. I've been on like OpenSea and all kinds of stuff. I can't find any. I'm having as much luck with that as I am trying to find an estate on the Sandbox. I really want an estate of my own on the Sandbox, so that during the next bear market, I can sit around making pixel art characters and assets for the Sandbox. But I can't communicate with any of them. They don't really respond to me. No, I can't find any of the land. And anytime there's a sale, I either just missed it because it happened yesterday, or there's just nothing available. So I've been driving myself crazy. I really want my own estate in the Sandbox, but whatever. Mary's main purpose is to transform Cardano into a multi-asset network similar to Ethereum, but with some advantages. According to IOHK, the protocol's developers, users can transaction with tokens, but without the need for smart contracts. This means sending a token on Cardano won't be more expensive than sending its native token ADA, unlike with Ethereum. It's funny how every bit of technological news associated with Cardano always just drops an elbow on Ethereum. I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's just so funny. It almost reads like a political article on CNN, or because it's like they just make these claims and then they drop an elbow, and it's just so obtuse, I guess could be the right word. Cardano is now the number 3 protocol after Bitcoin and Ethereum. In anticipation of the upgrade has been one of the factors that has pushed its token ADA up 250% in the past month alone. Last week, it made impressive gains, while other cryptocurrencies slumped. ADA has surged 2,440% in the last year. Still just getting started, and I'm going to be showing you in a minute. New use cases will open for developers who will be able to create custom payment tokens for Web3 applications, stablecoins pegged to other currencies, and NFTs. A $250 billion market. I feel like I'm coordinating an orchestra as I read this article on Decrypt, because it's just beautiful music to my ears. The mainnet upgrade, which requires a hard fork of the blockchain, is a key milestone for Cardano. And keep in mind, hard forks on Cardano don't mean there's a token swap. They just integrate the update, send it out to the wallets, you update the wallet, and it's done. I mean, that's just another part of the beauty of this thing. It introduces native tokens and multi-asset support while making use of Cardano's increased transaction speeds, mission-critical security, and lower fees. Dispensing with the need for smart contracts means that the accounting ledger will track the ownership and transfer of assets instead, removing extra complexity and potential for manual errors while ensuring significant cost efficiency. Oh, goodness. It means that Ethereum's ERC20 token standard used to create fungible tokens and its ERC2721 standard for non-fungible tokens now have their native equivalent on Cardano. Just one more milestone, baby. Just one more. The Cardano tokens do not need Ethereum smart contracts, as the blockchain supports tracking and accounting. And without the need for smart contracts, users will be able to send, receive, and burn their tokens without paying the associated fees, according to Harrison. That could be an attractive proposition for users, as Ethereum fees, known as gas or bloat, I'm just kidding, have recently been sky high. It hasn't, not recently, they've been sky high now for years, due to recent congestion amid increased trading activity. Last week, making just one transaction on Uniswap, Ethereum's most popular DEX cost between $217 and $286 in fees, depending on its priority. Absolutely sickening. There is a nominal fee on Cardano for making a transaction. It's payable in ADA, which is sent alongside the tokens, and multiple native tokens can be bundled and sent in one transaction. The upgrade, this is, oh God, there's just so many things. Listen, I don't know how many of you guys really get what's happening, but for any of you that really study the technology behind the majority of blockchains out there, it is absolutely mind-boggling how many elements of other blockchains are basically being perfected, altered to be perfected, and then expanded upon on Cardano. I mean, it's truly, I don't know why. Maybe just because I'm just stupid. I don't know, but I can't help but to feel emotional when I read this stuff. I think a part of you know why? Because I'm just going to be real. The technology is fantastic. The way that Cardano, the way I see Cardano being utilized on a global level over the coming years and decades, I think is going to be absolutely mind-boggling. But do you know one of the reasons why I feel like I get a little emotional when I read about a lot of these technological updates? You know, a part of it is because I get a lot of videos and messages from a lot of you guys out there who have been watching me for years. Not only do you recognize that I was one of the first YouTubers ever to really start talking about and continue to talk about and study and research Cardano and everything that they've been doing, keeping everybody updated on why I believe it's going to be the king, even when it dropped as low as 2 cents and everybody was shitting all over it, because I understood what they were trying to do. And those of you that are out there who watch me on a consistent basis and have supported me through the bear market, the now, I know that because of what they're building, I know that because of everything that they update and launch and add and expand on and perfect, I know that they're validating my belief during a time when nobody did. And because you believed in me, you're changing your life. That's why I get a little emotional, and I can't help it. because I know how my life is changing because of it, and I know how your lives are going to be changing because of it. And when Charles Hoskinson said, if you permit us, we'd like to change the world, he's changing a lot of worlds. He's changing a lot of lives. The technology is changing a lot of lives from a fundamental investment perspective for many of us early adopters who have all been a part of this growing community since inception, since very early on, and have rode the waves. But the rest of the world is going to come too, and they might not even know it, because the technology is going to be so sound and so capable that I believe that there's going to be a day when Cardano's blockchain is being utilized to solve a lot of global issues, and the people that are using it to solve these issues may not even know it's there. I'm going through a big transitional period right now in my life, and when I read about all of the comments and oh my gosh, I've been so inundated. I can't tell you how many new millionaires Cardano has created because they followed my channel. I mean, and I don't know. I'm just very grateful. You know, I wasn't expecting to go into a lot of this stuff, but you know, when you're in your 40s and you reach a point in your life where you kind of wonder, what does your life actually mean to anybody? What have you done to be able to help other people in this world where everybody is so focused on how do we help ourselves? How do we rise up? How do we accomplish XYZ? How do we provide for our families? How do we do all these things in a world that just feels like it doesn't want any of us to do well? A world right now that feels like it doesn't want anybody to be happy. It wants us all to be divided, angry, frustrated, poor, controlled. It's just how the world feels. And it's like, you know, when you see something that you feel is going to be kind of a light, at least a light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of people, it's hard to hold back. It's just hard to hold back. Because I've been truly disgusted with a lot of this world lately. And to be quite frank with you, as nerdy and as ridiculous as it sounds, reading a lot of this stuff somehow just makes me feel a lot better, because I know I'm not the only one that's benefiting. So it is what it is. Damn it. Today really has been, I mean, this whole weekend has been really stressful in good, positive ways. So I'm good. I'm good. I need a shot or something. What time is it? It's only 2:30 in the afternoon. Cannot believe I'm like, I haven't lost it. I haven't lost it. That'll probably be once I hit end live, and then I'm probably gonna have a little bit of a breakdown, and then I'll be good for the rest of the week. Just know that I really do care about all of you, and I'm just really glad that so many people are benefiting from everything that I've done for the past 3 years, because I think a lot about like legacy, and I think a lot about my value as a human being on this planet, and like I still feel like I haven't even tapped into, you know, what I really think is possible. And I don't know, maybe this is just a milestone. Who knows? So anyway, we're going to look at Ethereum, and I'm going to show you some stuff that I think is actually going to be pretty interesting. Damn it. I'm like leaking. These aren't even tears. It's allergies. I'm kidding. Everybody knows better. All right. So I'm going to get my Wall Street face on for a second here. All right. So if we're looking at Cardano against Ethereum, this is part of why I have a headache. I've been very emotional all day. So looking at Cardano against Ethereum, this is on a 15-minute chart. You can see that yesterday we started to get a really big pullback, and it wasn't even really a pullback because Cardano's price wasn't changing that drastically. What was changing here is Ethereum was starting to bottom out and rise up again, and so that's actually a good thing. That's fine. But Cardano started to lose a little bit of its value against Ethereum, but it had shot up so high so quickly. I expected to see this short term. I'm fine with it. But as you can see, it's kind of, we got some wicks up and then we come back down, and we're just doing a little dance right now, and that's all fine. If we look at Cardano against the dollar, this is actually what I'm going to show you. This is from a while back. This date right here is the date of my very first Cardano video. This was the date that I actually think it was December 13th, 2017, but this is a weekly chart, so you're not going to be able to see that. But in here was the date of the very first Cardano video I did, where I bought 15,000 tokens at 13 cents. What happened shortly after that? Over a period of 24 days, just 24 days, we were in a bull market. I wasn't even familiar with a lot of what was going on at the time. I wasn't even super familiar with like the market cycles or the big rise up and the drops. I wasn't familiar with a lot of that stuff at the time. Because keep in mind, I had just started my channel, I think in like November of 2017. So a month of me into crypto, I discovered Cardano. Okay. And of all the stuff out there, I zeroed in on Cardano, and I'm like, this is what's going to change the world. I'm like, I don't know why. I said in that video, I'm like, this is basically going to be the project that I'm going to attach myself to, because after researching it, reading through all of the materials and reading the white papers and all the documents, I'm like, this is what's going to change everything. And I knew it was going to take time. But from the date I did that first video, Cardano had a blow off top, and just in 24 days, it went up 957% at the peak of the market. Okay. Now, from there, you'll see we went all the way down from there. We went all the way down to right here in March of 2020. And I think we actually bottomed out before that. Yeah, but we hung there for a while. Bottomed out, basically going down 98.57% all the way to 2 cents. At some point, I think we even wicked a little bit lower than 2 cents. So we went from $1.33 all the way down to just 2 cents. Why did that happen? Why do you think that happened? Well, because at the time, remember, I just discovered Cardano back here. I really bought into the technology behind the people involved and all of that, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people at the time just looked at Cardano as a speculative coin and just another one of those shit tokens that everybody's trading to try and make a quick buck in the bull run. And after the bull run, all interest was gone, because what was it? At the time, Cardano's wallet was kind of crappy, full of bugs, took forever to sync. It just wasn't that great. It was still very, very early, right? It was very early in Cardano's technology. There was no smart contracts. There was no nothing. It wasn't even decentralized. It was just, here's a token. And basically, everybody had this whole period. I mean, shoot, from November of 2018, the price was around a couple of pennies all the way through here. So you're talking basically a 2-year period where so many people were able to accumulate Cardano at a couple of pennies. And then this here, that was basically the bottom. So then it started to kind of go up a little bit, started making some news, things started happening. Shelly launched, took us off a test net. Staking and delegating started picking up. And then when that happened, what did we start seeing? We started seeing the price go up. Why did we start seeing the price go up? Because the interest was there, the milestones were getting met, and ultimately less and less Cardano is available on exchanges because it's being delegated. It's being staked to nodes, right? So when you take that into account, if we were to just do what Cardano did at the peak of the market, okay, 24 days during the peak of the last bull cycle, Cardano went up 937%. Do you know what 937% means if we were to start that right now and it took place over just the next 6 months? I think you'll be kind of surprised. Still going. There it is. At just 898% up from where we are right now, we'd be looking at about a $13 Cardano. Now, I'm not making this as a prediction because I haven't crunched new numbers yet. But what I'm seeing is the escalation in price action of ADA. My $8 prediction may not be nearly enough. I really truly don't know at this point. Title of this video is how high can Cardano go? The answer is anywhere. Because as new adopters are buying in, there are so many people waiting for Coinbase listing. I know this for a fact because I hear it constantly. There are so many people that just want to buy it on Coinbase and just let it sit there. That's what a lot of people want to do. I don't know why. And I tell them all, download the Daedalus wallet. You want to buy your Cardano, send it to Daedalus, delegate it, all that. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to assume that when Cardano is officially some point listed, I'm guessing it could be any day after this Mary update. I truly think that. I think if anything, they've been waiting because they want it to be upgraded, integrated into Mary, to probably just ease their own burden on listing it and making it available on Coinbase. Why do something, now, and I also want to make another note because there's 2,300 of you, almost 2,400 of you live. Thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate you. Make sure you understand there are a lot of people impersonating me in the comments. People are running these scam bots. I don't use WhatsApp. I don't promote other traders. None of that is me. And I just cannot sit around for hours policing these automated bots. So if you see one, they're saying, go to my WhatsApp or whatever, just kindly say, this isn't Crow, this is an impersonator, just to let anybody that's not familiar know that that's not me. Because they're even if they get your cell phone number, it could be a risky thing. So if you don't mind helping. So anyway, we're basically crediting a potential blow off top trajectory from the middle of a bull market, right? What happened in just 24 days, if the same thing happened over the next 6 months, we're looking at a $13 Cardano. And there's so much more that's going to be happening between now and then. The sky is the absolute limit. Now, what happens after that? Let's just say hypothetically, maybe $8 is too low. Maybe we get to $13. Because remember, it's not necessarily about the total supply. It's about the available supply on exchanges because that's what's ultimately moving the market. The higher the demand and the less available supply on exchanges, that's what ultimately sets the price for everything else out in the world. That price isn't changed by all of the stakers and all of the delegators until they start to sell and move the price in the opposite direction. So if we believe Cardano is truly going to change the world and redefine finance as it is on a global level, there probably isn't going to be much reason to sell. Maybe there is. Maybe this will be a 2024-25 strategy, and we'll have one last opportunity to recycle our earnings and buy back in on a low throughout the next bull or bear cycle. If this were to hypothetically happen, and again, these numbers are all completely hypothetical, let's say we hit a $13 Cardano and we did a 2-year bear, this is supposed to be bear market, a 2-year bear market pullback. If we just drop 75.65%, that would still bottom us out at a $3 ADA, which I could see being very realistic. So this whole scenario is basically taking a couple things into account. One, that we're going to see at least a $3 ADA by the peak of the market. likely significantly higher than that. I still believe $8 ADA is fairly realistic by the peak of the market. We could hit $8 by November, and then by September be at $20 for a short period of time, and that could be our blow off top. Because here's the thing: when it comes to these speculative parabolic runs up in just about any asset, it seems like the last couple months of the bull market is nonsensical. It's just FOMO galore. Everybody that's coming late to the party, they're showing up and they're wanting to hit 5 shots before last call. And I think that that's ultimately what we see in a lot of these blow off tops at the peak of the market. So expect some of that activity. I'm definitely expecting some of that, because in some cases, it's the last couple months of a parabolic bull run where you get the majority of your gains in that bull market period. Well, we're likely still 4 to potentially 6 months away from that period in this cycle. So just keep your eyes peeled. Now, the question then is, is it worth it to just accumulate longer? Because this is another consideration depending on where you are in the world when you're talking about investments. Now, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm just some old crybaby on the internet, at least today. And so when and I'm not a tax accountant. I have people that do this stuff, right? So I'm not a tax professional. I'm not licensed in any of that. But when you're talking about capital gains, the longer you hold your position, the lower your capital gains are in the US. And given what we're seeing politically in the US, capital gains could very well double sooner than later, I'm sure. And so if that were to happen, you're ultimately going to be paying a higher cap gains rate in the US anyway. But the longer you hold it, you still lower your exposure to some of the more extreme capital gains taxation. So talk to your tax professional about that. Make sure they give you the right scoop based on your state, where you live, so forth and so on. I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not giving any advice here, just some idiot on the internet. But talk to your professional about capital gains. And the reason I bring this up is because ultimately, let's say you bought into Cardano at $1.25 and 6 months from then you sell it for $3. Well, how much did you actually make? Because if your capital gains is at the highest end of that ratio based off of your tax bracket, which is another element to the whole equation, how much general income do you make? What tax bracket are you in against how long you've held that position and then exited? What is the profit? What's the difference? So forth and so on. There's a whole complicated mechanism to that your tax professional will be able to help you understand or solve. But the longer you hold an asset, the lower your capital gains is for the tax bracket you're in, which is that's what Crow Your Coins is all about for a lot of you newcomers out there. 2,500 of you now. So that's a big deal that you want to consider, because you might buy in at $1, and then 6 months from now maybe it goes to $3 or $4, and then you sell it, and then half of that's basically being wiped out from capital gains anyway. Is it more beneficial for you to just hold that through the next bear market, delegate it the entire time, accumulating further for the next bull run when things really get insane? That's a question for you to think about. Are you investing right now because you need to change your life tomorrow? Or are you investing right now to accumulate long-term, lower your capital gains tax, and ultimately retire in the next 5 years? Regardless of your age, most likely, but ultimately depending on what you're able to put in. And you never, of course, invest anything into crypto you can't afford to lose, because anything is a gamble. Everything in cryptocurrency is a gamble. The best project on the planet, anything can happen. We could get hit with a global EMP strike, and all this blockchain nonsense is for nothing. So you just never know 100%. But just keep that in mind as you're kind of making your moves. But yeah, ultimately that's a potential situation right here. Although I mean, it could go much bigger than that. It could legitimately go much bigger than this. I really have absolutely no idea. Now, one thing I want you guys to take note of is, if you are a Cardano holder, I implore you to download the Catalyst voting app, whether it's on Android or iPhone, because that is going to be not only are you going to be, you can be very well rewarded for voting on Project Catalyst project submissions, which is this. This is cardano.ideascale.com. This is where people are submitting their different proposals to try and acquire some Cardano to fund their project development. I don't personally have anything in here, but there are a couple projects that I'm planning on voting for. And the process is very, very simple. You're going to need your Daedalus wallet to do it. I think you can do this with Yoroi. I'm not sure, but I don't use that wallet. I just use Daedalus, to be honest. But I know in Daedalus it's very easy. When you go into the voting section of Daedalus, it'll ask you, you need to download the app. So you download the app, and then you will take a picture of the QR code with the app open, and it'll take a snapshot. Now, one note that apparently is very important is you want to make sure you save your QR code as a PDF file and store that somewhere safely. Print it, do whatever you need to make sure you do not lose it. And then you're going to assign a new PIN code specifically for your voting. March 5th is when the floodgates open on Catalyst voting on the next round. And I think there's something like $70,000 worth or something along those lines of ADA that's going to be basically distributed to the people that vote. And your voting power will be dictated by how much ADA you're holding in the wallet. So it's a big deal. And this is one vote that you can pretty much guarantee your vote's going to count. Which I'm seeing as being a pretty big deal nowadays. So make sure you do it, because you have a say in a lot of the projects that we may very well start seeing launch on the Cardano blockchain, and you have the ability to really help people out. When can we see or hear when update Mary Hard Fork? It's happening today, man. It's happening today. You're obviously a little bit late to the show, but we've been talking about this now for a while. Why is this saying I've only been live 9 minutes and 48 seconds? That's odd. I'm pretty sure I've been talking a lot longer than 10 minutes. Hopefully there's no problem. There's definitely not been any interruption in chat, so we'll see. Please mention Cardano's quantum resistance. Thank you. I don't think there really is much quantum resistance yet. I've talked to Charles about that live. So, I think it's being built to be able to potentially integrate more quantum resistance down the line, but I don't think it's like super quantum resistant as it sits right now, unless there's something I'm not privy to just yet. But anyway, if I'm on sentiment, you can take a look at like a lot of the sentiment going on social media right now. You can see during the highest peak, social dominance was very high for Cardano, and it continues to go up and down across all the different platforms, from Twitter to Reddit to Telegram. And you can listen, folks. Make sure you get the app, set it up, get registered so that you can vote. March 5th, it's going to be a pretty big deal, and let's see what happens. Still at 30 trades, 30 profitable trades on Crow Trader for the week so far. So I'll be monitoring that and updating everybody. And yeah, that's about it for today. I think I covered just about everything, put things into perspective. Hopefully it was helpful. Got a little emotional. I wasn't expecting that, but hey, shit happens. Until next time, guys, enjoy your Monday. Hopefully you have a great week, and I'll likely see you again tomorrow. Have a good afternoon, and I'll see you soon. Crow your coins.